Good everyone, my name is Graphics. In this video, we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the top right hand side of the screen in isometric. Now, I always tell you, whenever you are told to draw an isometric, the first thing you should try to draw is the isometric axis. That is the X, Y, and Z axis, right? So I'll be doing that. I'll first of all get my vertical line this way. I'll take this up. So first of all, get my vertical line this way. Then I'll get the horizontal line also. And then this one. And I'll also get this way. This is the first thing you will do. Now, the next thing you're going to do here is to get the entire height. If you look at this figure closely, you see that from this point to this point is the height, and that's given as what? 63, right? So I am going to measure 63 on my meter rule, and I'll place it here, starting from 0, right? From 0 this way, this is 0, this is 60, then this is 63 here. That is the height of the figure that we have there. Is that okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is to get the entire length, right? Now, if you look at from this point to the center of this circle here is 100, and the diameter of the circle there is given to be 36, right? So 100 plus half of 36, which is what? 18, and that gives us 118. So I'm going to measure 118, right? From this point here, from 0, I'm going to measure 118. This is 0, this is 100, right? 110, then 118 is here, right? So this is my 118 here at this point. Is that okay? So that's 100 and what? 118. Now I've gotten the entire what? The entire length here. Then this side here is giving us from here to here, which is what? 75. So I'm going to measure 75 from this point here, from 0, right, to 75. This 70 and this 75. Is that okay? And I'll use my meter rule and I'm going to project this point upward this way. So this will go up. This will also go up here, and I will complete it. What I use to draw this axis, I will move it to that point of 63. I'm going to draw this axis to this way, and I'll turn it this way again. I'll do the same thing here too. I'll do this way. Then I'll move it up to this point. I'll do the same thing here. Close it up, and I'll move it here too. I'll close it up. You can see that this is what we have here. Now we want to bring out that particular shape out. Now if you look at this, from this point to this point is from here to here, and it is thickened. What am I going to do? I am going to thicken it. So from here to here, I'll thicken it. You can see that. Now the height from here to here is given as what? 15, and I'm going to measure 15 from this point. From this point to this point, this is 0, right? And this is 15 here. And if you look at it there, it's also thickened. So let's place my set square or my t square, and I'm going to thicken the 15 from here. straight down to this point. You can see that, right? And from here to here is ticking also, so I'm going to tick in this point. And I also tick in this point. You can see that. Now if you look at it, I'm going to measure from here to here, which is given as what? 56, right? So I measure 56 at this distance here. So measure 56 from 0. This is 50, this is 56, right? Now the next thing I'll do is, if you look at from this point to this point is 12. So I'm going to measure 12, that is, if this is 56, right? So from here to here is 12. Can you see that? Also from 56, also I'll measure 12. So I'm starting from 5 backwards. So from 5 is 0, this is 10, and this is what? 12. Right? I'll just stick in the 2 there because it's thickened, just like it's shown here. And I'll just draw a line from this point this way, right? And I'll take this point from here to here is here to here, which is also thickened. I'll just thicken it. Here to here is thickened. You can see that. So I'll just use my faint line here a little bit, and here also a little bit. Why am I using my faint line? Because from here to here is 5 in the diagram. I'm going to measure 5 here. So with the help of my meter rule, I will measure 5 from 0. So starting from 0 here, I'll measure 5, this 5 here. You can see that? Then I'll just close that point, this point here, straight down to here, right? And from here to here is also closed down, so I'm going to close it out. I see that, and I'll close here too, and also here too. Then I'll close this point too. So that is what we have there at the side. The next thing, I'll just draw this to form my box. Just take this way, and also I'll take this way, right? I'm not drawing my thick line here because of the figure you see, it is not complete yet, but I know that these two circles here are placed at somewhere around here and here, right? And the center of the circle is placed 28 millimeter from this point to this point here, 28 millimeter. So I'm going to measure 28 millimeter from this end here, starting from 0 this way. Is 0, right? 10, 20, 28. So if I've done that with the help of my T-square this way, I'll place it here, and I'm going to draw a line this way. Can see that? That will mark the center of my circle from this distance. And similarly, the center of the circle, we are given that it is 45 millimeter distance from each other. Just like you're seeing, from here to here is given as what? 45. So the best way to do it is to get the center of this line here, right? So if you divide 75 by 2, you are going to be having 37.5, right? That will be half of that distance there. So if I place it this way, from 0 to this point here is 75, you see? So if I move half of it, this is 30, 35, 36, 37.5 will be here, around here. Are we good? So I'll just take my meter rule and I'll just draw a line this way. right? So from this center here, I'm going to measure half of 45 to the that 22.5 here, 22.5 here. Because of the distance between both of them is 22.5. So with the help of my compass, I'll place it on my meter rule here, and I'll measure 22.5, that is half of 45, 0, this is 20, 21, 22.5 here, right? And I'll place it at the center here. I'm going to mark to the left 22.5 and to the right 22.5. So from here to here now is now 45. So at that point, I'm going to draw my center of the circle using your 30-degree set square. So any line you're drawing like this must be parallel, right? So if I place it here, I'll draw this. I'll come here also. I'll also draw this. Right? That's the center of my circle. But from the question here, we're told that the circle has the holes are what? Diameter of what? 12. The two holes are diameter of 12, right? So I need 6. I need to measure 6 on my meter rule. So measuring 6 on my meter rule, from here is 0, right? This is 5, and this is 6 here. Can see that? And I'll place it at the center here. I'll mark to this point 6, 6, 6, 6. You can see that. I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing too. 6, 6, all through 6 and 6. So I'll use it to form a box. So using it to form a box, this is what I'll be having. So when I draw this way, from this point I'll draw a line that will pass through using the ordinate method of constructing an ellipse. I have this, and I have this, and I have this. And I'll move it here, passing through those points, this point here too. I'll close it up, and also I'm going to close it up. I'll come here too from this point. I'll close it up, and also I'm going to close it up. So I'll bring out that box. So this is the box I want to carve in my circle. So there are two ways you can do it, right? Two ways. You can just use your ordinate method, but it looks very small. So I can easily pick out my French curve, right, to make it more faster and easier. First of all, I need to draw my diagonal, the longest part here. I'll connect these two together here to pass to the center. Can see that? Come here. Can see that? Right? And I can easily just use my ordinate method. Is working, so I'll just virtually just use my ordinate method continuously that way. So just from this point, draw a line that will touch from here to come touch here, right? And also from the same point, draw a line from here that is going to touch here. So this is where they are meeting at this point, right? I'll do the same thing here too. Draw a line from here that will come touch here, and draw a line from here that will come touch here. So this is where they are actually meeting. You can see that. Now I will now use my compass. Now place it here, and I'm going to gauge from this point to this point. You can see that from here to here. Place it where? Can see that? I'll take the other side too. I'll do the same thing, gauge it from here to here. You can see that? And I'll place it here too, at this point here where they meet. I'll do the same thing. It's too small, so I can easily manage it. Can see that? Then at this point too, here, we do the same thing here too, right? You can see that. So this is what we have here. The same thing too, you apply it here also using the ordinate method here. You place your compass at this end, right, to this point here, and you draw. Can see that? You take it to that end here, and you also do the same thing. Can see that? Now you place it at this point here, you close it up, right? Do what? You close it up here, and you come here too, you do the same thing here too, just like you did in the previous one, right? So that's what we have there. So we have successfully drawn out these two circles. Now the next thing we want to do is to construct this top here. Is that okay? This top you see here. So what we're going to do is we'll get the center of this line here, and we already have the center. I can easily just project from here. I'll project it up to touch here, right? This line. I'll also project this from here. I'll project it to the end here to touch here. So that will be the center here, right? Now if you look at what we have here, the diameter of this bigger circle is 36, right? And it's touching the end here. So what I'll do is I'll measure half of 36 on my meter rule, which will give us 18, right? I'm going to measure half of 36, which will give us 18. So this is what I'll do. Just see, measure 0 to 18. This is 10, this is 18 here, right? And I'll place it at this point here, and I'll mark 18. I'll do it again. I'm going to also mark 18 twice, right? And I'm going to take my instrument and I'm going to draw this point, horizontal line this way. You can see that. And also I'll do it here too, another horizontal line this way. That again. So what I used to measure the 18 that I used to get this, the same 18, can see that? I'll mark left and I'll also mark right, so that it can just form my box. And I'll just put this here this way, and I'll have this to touch here. Also the same thing here too. I also have this to touch here, right? Now what do you notice? The same ordinate method. I want to construct that circle that we have there. So I'll just take this, the longest diagonal, I'll join from here to here, right? And I'll join this from here to here. Then I'll take from this end or this end, any of your choice, and I'll draw a line to touch this point here this way, and you'll get 1 point, point 1. And do the same thing too to touch from here to this point here, get another point here. This is what, point 2. Can see that? And I'll just take my compass from this point here and I'll place it at this end here, right? And I'm going to draw this. Can see that? I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing from this end here, take it to this point, so it must touch here. Now what we have. Then I'll come to this point here also. I'm going to do the same thing here. Take it to this point, and then take it to this point. This point here. You can see that now, and I'll come here too. I'm going to close it up too on this point to this point. Sorry, place it here. point, faint line. Right, I'll do this. Now, this is what we actually have. Now, what do you notice? The thickness from here to here, which is something that's saying from here to here, and that's given as what? As 10, right? Well, then I'll measure 10 at this point here, taking 5, 5 each. So I usually just take my compass here, my rule. See, this is 0 here at the center point. You can see that. And I'll just measure 5 to the left and 5 to the right, making 10, right? And I'll just place it from here. Just draw a line from this point, faint line, first of all. I'll come here also, draw another faint line, first of all. Now you can see that. Now I don't need this. I can actually clean off this. So we are told that from the center of the circle to this point here is what? 36. So I'm going to measure 36 from the center of that circle. This is the center of the circle here, right? 0. And I will measure 36. This is 0, this is 30, 36 at this point. So at that point, I'm going to draw a line this way. Draw a line this way at this point. And I'm just taking that line. Right? I will also taking this line too from here, this point. Also taking this line too from here to this point. Right? Now what you notice is touching this point here, which is also 10 millimeter. So I can actually do the same thing what I did here. I'll come at this point using my meter rule. I'll measure 5 to both sides. So this is 0 at the center here, and I'll measure 5 to the right and also 5 to the left. That is how I'm going to draw my line from this point here that will go straight down to touch this here. From this point, you can see that, to draw this from here to this point. Wow, so we're getting there. This to this point, you can see that, and from here this to this point. Now what do you notice? This is cutting in, so that means I have to remove this guy here. Let's see that. So I will just from here just taking this to this point, straight ahead. You can see that, and from here also draw this to take in here, straight ahead. You can see that. So we have actually done that. Now we'll move forward. The next thing I'm going to do is the distance from this point here. Let me just draw my vertical line downward. The distance from this point here straight down is given to be 25. So I'm going to measure 25 from here downward, right? But before I do that, I need to draw out the same curve again. So let me bring it down, bring out that same box downward. Look at what I'm doing. This box I constructed here, because if you look at the diagram, there's another circle below. So I'll just bring it down from here downward, from here to downward. You can see that. Then I'll measure the 25 from 0 to this point here is 25. Is 25 here, right? So I'll use it to complete the box. I'll use it to complete the box. Just a box to use my ordinate method. Close it up. You can see that. Then I'll bring it down to here too, and I'll close it up using your set square. You can see that. I'll close it up too. Then what I actually need here, then I'm going to close it up too. This is meeting this at this point. Let me bring this down. So this is meeting this at this point. This line is meeting this line at this point. Then I'll just draw the final line here, which will meet this at this point here. So I brought out that box out, these 3 boxes here. And see that the same box up here, I replicated it down here. But I don't actually need to draw out my total circle. What I'll just do is, since I join from here to here, I'll also join from this point, right, straight down to here. Faint line. You can see that. Let me make it more visible. Now when I've done that, I will just transfer my point. This point here, this center point, I'll transfer it downward to be on that same line here. So this is the point, right? And this other center point here, I'll transfer it down using my set square. And this is also what the point, since they are duplicate of each other. Is that again? And this is what I have here. So what I'll simply do is, I'll take I also need where to stop. So I know that whatever I'm drawing, this point here will stop here. And we'll start from here. So this is where I'm gauging it to be. So if I place my compass here, then I'm going to gauge it from here to here. You can see what I'm doing. From here to here. So I'll just draw this. I'll stop here. You can see that? That means from this point to this point here, you're touching it. I'll just draw a line. I'll touch this 2 points here, center to the center. You can see that. And also, I'll do the same thing. This end here, I used to get this arc here, then I'll use this other end down here. That where this line and this line are meeting, I'll place my compass there, and I'll take it to this point here. You see that? Then I'll draw. Now the question is, where will my arc stop? So I can just draw this. That is 1. Is that again? So what do you notice? This line is actually coming down from here. So this is where I'm going to stop here. Just sticking it. You can see that. And what do you notice? It is touching this line here, more like a web. So let's bring this line from here to touch here from this point, as shown in the diagram. From this point here to touch here. See that? And I'll close it up. And here to touch here. Can you see that? Now the next thing that is remaining is I also close here up to taking here, since I know virtually where I am stopping, and also close here up to right, and here too. So this is what we have, right? And last but not the least, there's actually a circle in between here, and I have a diameter. You can see diameter of what, 22. So I'll just take my meter rule, right, and I'm going to measure 11 half of 22. From 0 to 11 is here. You can see that, and I'll place it at the center here, and I'll mark 11 up, 11 to the left, 11 down, and 11 to the right. So I'm going to draw the box out again using ordinate method. That again, and I will just do this, and also do this, and I'll close it up back, and also do this, then close it up back too, and also do this, just to form that box. Ordinate method of construction. So what I will simply do is, I can actually just from this point, you draw a line that will touch here. From this point, draw a line that will touch here. So you mark a point. I need this point, and from this point also draw a line that will touch here. You can see that, and I need this point. So these are the 2 points I need here. So I can virtually take my line from here, and I'll connect these 2 points together, right? And I'll come to this end too. I'll connect this point together. Then I'll come here to this point, and I'll connect these two together. Then I'll come here too. I'll connect these two together. Sorry. Here. Now that's taking them out. So that's what we have there. I have successfully reproduced the figure that we have in the top right hand side of the screen in isometric. Is that taken? So in the next video, we'll be drawing the orthographic projection of this diagram that we have here. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.